Okay, can everybody hear me in the back over there?
No.
Can you hear me okay? I know I'm going to be kind of competing over here. Can you hear me, Mondo? I need to speak a lot louder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. This is going to be a yelling session. Hopefully my voice will come out. Okay. The title of this session, you have your little flyer, is called Teaching with Style. And that is a title cleverly thought of by Brother Philip Booker and asked me to teach it. So my take on this subject is that it's a double meaning. You get two thoughts for the price of one. So the first one is teaching with style. And what I consider that is teaching with pizzazz. Everybody say pizzazz. Okay. And what that means to me is teaching with flair, teaching with flamboyant energy, putting your all into it. In other words, some creative oomph. So, you're going to go all out. You're not just going to do the little simple stuff. You're going to go all out with the creative flair. Right? I just found this in my garage the other day. I'd never opened it from the dollar store. I knew it would come in handy someday. The other subject on this dual teaching with style is teaching with styles. And we're going to talk about a little bit teaching with various styles. You might not be able to see this very well back there, but it's got all those things on your flyer that are listed on the bottom. All the various ways that you might be able to teach the Bible lesson or Bible truths. And so that's kind of what we're going to attempt to do this morning on these two subjects. So in other words, to sum it up, I'm going to try to fill a lot of miscellaneous ideas in 40 minutes. So I'm going to go a little bit fast. Let's see. So some of the methods that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to briefly talk about them very short because they have their own subject in this conference, which is song, though I can never, ever compete with Brother Hodge on that. And object lessons, I'm not even going to touch Brother Booker on that one. So we're just going to touch a little bit on the various ways to teach. I'm just going to introduce myself really quickly for time's sake. I'm Sister Kathy Garrett from Two Tabernacle, Fresno, from Lackey. My pastor, former pastor Elder Morton. Elder Morton would probably say he raised me from a pup because I got into this when I was 15. The Holy Ghost was baptized right before I was 16. If you were here, who was here last night? It was so awesome. Brother Spell talked about how that Esther was there against her will, captive. I was one of those. I was out there in the world, captive, against my will. And that touched me so much, thinking that the King chose me to lead a church. So that was very touching last night. So I came to church. I started really living for God at 16. My parents, my mom, my sister didn't come. So I was on my own, so they brought me to church. So like Brother Spale says, at that time, their method was to grab you pretty quickly. So I was 16 years old. They got me on a bus route. Then they got me in a classroom. I was a secretary. And two things was too much for me, so I chose Sunday school. I liked it. And so I went in with the second grade class, 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds. And the lead teacher, I was very backwards at first, very shy. And all I wanted to do was take names. That's it. I can do that, yeah. I can ask them their name, but don't ask me to say more than that. And after, it took quite a long time for her to really pressure, encouragement, to finally get me to even try anything new, even play a game with them or anything. So finally, as I learned the Bible and as I got more confidence, she began to say, you can teach the lesson. So finally I did that. So after a few years, I became the lead teacher in the second grade class, and I was there for like 20 plus years. So that's my specialty really, is 7 and 8 year olds. There's kind of a light shining on me, so I'm trying to avoid looking up there. So then after I left the second grade, after 20 plus years there, I went into the drama ministry we went around class to class, and I'll talk about that in a later class. So really, I don't have any formal training, it's just what you learn. And I know all of you that have experience in years, we all have things to share. So it's just basically, it's my turn to share what I know, and hopefully that you will get a few good ideas or get inspired in some creative way. Speaking of inspiration, the most important thing before we start out with anything we do, whether it's teaching a lesson, Bible songs, anything, is we need the anointing. Of course, you all know this, and the inspiration from the Holy Ghost. You gotta pray. I'm telling you, I've tried to do it on using my own talents. It doesn't work. I don't care how much you know, how much you do. You need that. If you don't have it, it's not going to go. It's going to go flat like that balloon. You always start classes with a bang, too. Okay, so let me go on to the next notes here. Oh, EDC pipe. My friend texted me something. She said some grandmas play bingo and some like to crochet. She sent me that because she likes to crochet. And I texted her back and said some like to play with PVC pipes. So, well, I did it wrong to begin with. I'm nervous. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to do this. Okay. Let me get set up here for my next little subject. Hopefully it holds up. Now, the reason I use PVC pipes, they're really lightweight, and I can do all kinds of stuff. I make props, I make puppet show things, stuff for my skits, all kinds of stuff. So it's really fun. So, my next theme. That I want to talk about is before you, every single week, you got to do this. Every single week, right? No matter what. No matter what lesson is. What are you going to touch on? You're going to touch on one God and actually create. We all know that, right? But sometimes we forget. We're so excited about Noah's Ark that we forget to bring it in. But the best way to bring it in is in the very beginning, then you don't forget. Okay? So that's my take on that. Just moving right along. Okay, none of us is perfect. Well, maybe. Tell me if you are. But we all have some kind of talent that God gave us, right? Everybody does. So don't focus, when you're thinking of yourself, don't focus on the part you aren't good at. Focus on what you are good at. If you start focusing on what you're not good at, let's focus on our talents. For example, my talents are not artistic as far as drawing and so forth. So I'm not going to focus on that. I'm just going to use what my talents are and let someone else do the drawing for me or buy something that's already made. So I just can't let that be my hang-up. Focus on your talents, okay, and your strengths. So now I'm going to try to fit a few things in that are on your handout. The factors, if you see that at the top, first you have the fun factors. This just something I made up. But it's made up over experience. I know these factors work, so I use them. The fun factor, okay? How many fingers is this pencil pen holding up? One. When I point at you with this, you say, one God, his name is Jesus.
One God, his name is Jesus.
All right. Good job. Good job. See me after for a hint. Okay. So keep the fun factor maybe periodically, you know, while in the middle of your teaching. What did I point at? There you go. All right. So that's the fun factor. Hopefully I'm not going too slow for everybody, but I have so much stuff here. Okay. Now, how many of you were kind of looking up here curious about what I was doing with this yo-yo? Curiosity. That's a way to get attention from the children. Do something a little out of the ordinary, and all of a sudden that they were playing and they were doing something, but they weren't paying attention to you, and all of a sudden you do something strange, and they go, what's she doing? Focus, and then you can bring some spirituality into it. Let's see. Do you want to be a Christian that's always up, or do you want to be an up and down? Oh, today I'm going to live for God, tomorrow I'm going to be out, today I'm going to live for God, tomorrow I'm going to lie and steal, today I'm going to pray. Oh, no, you don't want to be a yo-yo Christian, do you? Okay, so, curiosity. Is anybody curious why I'm carrying an anteater under my arm? Okay, I'll tell you that. Oh, there it is. Kim knows this, huh? My daughter Kim right here. Blue. Okay. So one day I decided I get these strange ideas. And my daughter Sarah right here, they know. Okay, I got this strange idea, not strange, just fun, that I wanted to have a donkey for my next Christmas play, and I wanted him to have his head sticking out of the stable door or window, and the little boy shepherd that I wrote into the play, I had him, and I wanted Mary and Joseph to come walking up and say, oh, do you like our donkey? And I had it all pictured, but I didn't have the donkey. So started looking for it, started trying to buy one, and I couldn't find it. So what am I going to do? I'm not artistic, they know, but I am creative, right? But I'm not artistic with my hands, but I can think of stuff. So one day we were at the thrift store, Kim and I saw this anteater, not this one, a big one, huge anteater that looked just like this. And I was kind of like, I ran over because I thought it was dumb. You see an anteater in here? She's like, no. I do. I see one. And I took it home, cut it up, just to shorten up this story a little bit. I cut it up, glued some things around, made a little mount, did all kinds of stuff. And recently I thought I lost it. Looked everywhere for it. Finally found it in a suitcase in the garage. And here's my husband. He took a picture of me reunited. Aww. With my donkey. Wow. What? Whiteout? Oh, I did. I used whiteout. She remembers. I don't even remember what all I did. But the white that came with the back of the anteater became his ears. Okay, so that was just. So why did I bring him? Oh yeah. I brought him because I named him Chip. C-H-I-P. The C stands for creativity. The H stands for how. Not can I do this, how can I do this? If you want something, if you're inspired for something, don't say, can I do this? Say, how can I do this? Right? And the IP stands for imagination and possibilities. So we named him Chip. I could have named him Will. Where there's a will, there's a way. But I like Chip. Okay, let me see on here. Okay, the last factor that I had here, besides the fun factor and One guy, right. Okay. All right, so now we got the wow factor. So much time I'm using up. Okay. I need a drink. You know, I found this cup somewhere a long time ago. And I thought kids just like light up stuff. And they like things. So you just bring something out of the ordinary and do something with it. And they'll say, wow. And I'll tell you who's the master of the wow factor is Brother Philip Booker with those object lessons. Talk about wow. Okay, so I'm going to move along. I'm just going to do a drawing, and if we have time at the end, I will. Fast. I like to keep an idea box. You might think of this. Mine is much bigger than this. I just brought it small for sake of traveling, but keep it, every time you think of a good idea, like I'm at work and I have a lot of sticky notes and I say, oh yeah, and I write it down and I save these ideas and I put them in a box at home. And then later if someone says, hey, you need to do children's church or a skit, or I look through my notes and sometimes God inspires me with old ideas that I had from before. You might not use them right then, so keep a good idea box.
The devil's done strategically place of bullies are like this soldier that follows all around, bobbles, they use those who love thy God. The devil
Stay calm, smile. All right, so I'm going to move along a little bit here to the actual teaching styles. And like I said, I'm going to touch very quickly on a lot of them. So besides these verses that we always bring up, we should have a Bible verse that goes with our lesson to remind them of our lesson and that they know that our lesson came from the Bible. Make sure that when you're teaching, try to have a Bible and instead of reading from a book or from your notes, try to hide them somewhere in your Bible because that just brings it forward that you're in their mind that you're teaching them from the Bible, even though it might be your own words that you've written down in there. Okay, so first of all, we have the one dimension teaching with pictures that everybody knows, that we do. We get these from, Pentecostal Publishing House or wherever you might want to get them. Those are nice, and sometimes they do bring out a lot of detail. So you want to use them sometimes, but we know that one-dimensional isn't as good sometimes. We're talking about Jesus is our shepherd, and we want to somehow bring across that Jesus is really our shepherd. We might want to, along with the one-dimensional, make it 3D as far as you can touch, you can feel, you can let the kids pet, so you're bringing it out, and then when you're talking about Jesus is my shepherd, Jesus is like the shepherd. I don't want anything to happen to you. That mean old wolf, go away, mean old wolf. I'm going to hit you on the head with this stick because this is my sheep, and I love my sheep, right? So you bring it to their mind that you're a sheep and Jesus loves you. And make it a little more 3D. Same thing like you're teaching about Peter in prison. You might show a nice picture of it, but maybe you just want to have the rattle of the chains. Talk about how he can't get out with his own power. But when those people, Peter's over there praying, in jail, and his friends pastor over there praying. Can he do it on his own power? No, but all of a sudden, God just, because of the prayers of his friends. A lot of you might know about all these resources, but I just brought them just in case. Some of the best pictures, if you are going to use pictures, is the Abeka sets. If you haven't heard of these, go to the Abeka, is it Abeka.com? And they have full sets, like 5 lessons or 8 lessons in each one about a certain theme. I borrowed this from our church, boyhood and early ministry of Jesus. And why they're just so detailed and nice. And you can do each scene one after the other and show them. So that's just a good reference for pictures. Abeka. Abeka.com. A-B-E-K-A. A-B-E-K-A.com. They write full curriculum. Another place source that you can get, it's just be on the lookout for good Bible books to show. A lot of them have really good pictures. I like to look for Bible books at the thrift store or wherever I happen to be, just to see what their pictures are like. Sometimes it's hard to find materials for certain stories. Maybe the Christian bookstore don't sell it as much, so when you're on the lookout for certain stories, maybe one that's kind of hard is the Day of Pentecost. A lot of times they don't have that. You know, they don't do that. Acts 2:38 and one God at all the churches that utilize those resources like we do. So we're always on the lookout for anything like that. Also, a friend of mine likes to take really good pictures that she likes out of a book and enlarge them and laminate them. And she saves them for later. Of course, there's your little pictures. We're teaching about creation. We like to do the day 1, day 2. Has anybody ever done that? Well, does your world really look like this? So, not really. I mean, this is a cartoonish looking world. So we might want to bring it to the attention of the kids. Maybe I like to save calendar pictures of God's great, wonderful, beautiful creation that He made. The beach, the redwoods, whatever it might be. I just brought a few. But then as I showed them, have you ever been here? Have you ever seen this? How beautiful God's creation. Who made that? Who made that? And stress it, because at school, if they go to folk school, of course, it's going to be stressed that it was just happened. It was a creation. So that will bring recognition. If they ever see that scene somewhere, oh yeah, God made, my teacher said God made that scene. Let's move along here. Set up for different styles. Wasn't sure what resources I would have today, so I just brought my own little kind of throw together. Don't worry, I don't do it like this all the time. You won't see things sticking out here and there, but it's just for today. God sends laborers. Oh God, give us more missionaries. God, are you willing to do it? Are you willing to go? Don't dare pray to God and answer a prayer that you're not willing to answer. To be the answer to the prayer. Okay, like I said, I'm just touching on things today because of lack of time and also because other people are much better or they might go into more detail on things. So we're just quickly touching on some of these methods. You know, the flannel graph is a good way to keep the story moving. A still picture, you can't move the people around and so forth. So of course the flannel graph is the better way to, people should put it upside, not upside down, right side up. So you might have, this should be a town scene, but I don't happen to have a town scene, but you would have maybe a town scene where they're in Jerusalem and here comes Jesus. I should be prepared. I should be prepared here. Here it is. Okay, normally, like I said, touching on everything quickly. So, normally if you're doing flannel graph, you should have all your pieces ready, your notes on section, right? And have it ready to go right side up, how you're going to do it, move the pieces around. You can actually, for example, if it's Noah's Ark, I thought of this the other day. It's Noah's Ark, and he's loading the animals onto the ship. You could actually use class participation and have the kids each get to be whatever animal it might be, and they're coming closer to the ark, and they get to, kids like to be participants with you in the story, and it helps them to remember it longer. So, I don't have the water today, but there's a lot of these sets have water with them and various town scenes, backdrop. And if you, has anybody ever worked with flannel graph? It's you have to put a lot of effort and time into it, but it's really fun as far as the kids get into it. They really, it draws their attention, and that's what this is about today, is teaching, getting the kids' attention. If we don't have their attention, then what's good is a story. Question.
For years. I use the part, I get on and I connect my heart.
And you put flannel stuff on the back?
Stuff like whatever I'm going to do for my story. But is there a place where you can find flannel?
It's called Betty Lukens.
Betty Lukens, Lukens.
Lukens, for those that didn't hear. Betty Lukens are these really elaborate flannel sets that they come up with. Some of this is not. Some of this is like Pentecostal Publishing House set packets. So I'm just kind of getting organized here.
8 years later, she's my right-hand lady.
Okay, sorry for the delay. You might make little props. I saw this on Pinterest the other day. They kind of got squashed in the suitcase. But you might make little houses out of paper bags, something as simple as that. Something as simple as characters out of tissue rolls. And moving them around, it's very, if you're trying to do inexpensive, it's all you're trying to do is get the point across and movement. And so think out of the box. I don't have anything. I don't have, I've used Barbie dolls dressed up. That's Barbie! Sometimes you kind of have to get them past that. You dress them up, you put them in the Bible Day costumes. With the backdrop, you move them around, and it's more 3D than just the flat flannel graph. And they have a lot of fun with that, things like that. Oh, sure. I'm just kind of skipping around really quick here. You want to demonstrate this one? My daughter thinks she's really good.
This one is something that we got from Pentecostal Publishing House. I really like it. It tells the whole story of the Apostle Paul on the road to Damascus in stick figure form. And so you can lay it out like a cartoon. And it also shows what you can do with stick figures if you're drawing on a whiteboard as you go. We actually, my husband did make PDF files of all of this, so if you want some of the resources, find me and give us your email and we can send it. But it's really great because it literally tells every piece of it. And the younger your kids, the more you're just moving one thing after the other. They're waiting for what's coming next. And then that'll work.
Thank you. Okay, like I showed that net feeder fishing up here earlier. That's another thing. 3D is always better. Combine whatever method you're doing with something, if you can think of it. Because the kids can imagine them fishing for fish better if they had a net. And I found this, they have a lot of these right now at the dollar store, these little nets under where they have the decorating for the luau's. So we go over there, that area, and there's a lot of those nets. Oh, here, I found the ones, some of the guys that I had made out of the Barbie dolls. They got beards with black marker. But, you know. Roleplay is another thing, and I'll talk more about roleplay if you go to the skit class, but using the kids is a really good way to get them into the lesson. So I just grabbed a piece of material before I left. Looked kind of Bible-ish, days-ish. So, Landry, you don't mind your hair getting messed up. Okay. All right, you're going to be a shepherd, right? Let's see, are you going to be King David before he was king? Okay. And maybe we'll get that sheep, not right now, but if you were doing the lesson for me, and maybe I'd give you a harp, and you'd play it, and I would talk about all about how little David was so good on his harp, right? And you'd maybe pet the sheep. Would you have fun doing that? Yeah, okay, thank you. Sarah, are you my timekeeper? Do you know how much time it is? Curiosity factor for sure right here, huh? You're like, what is that? Some of the young people are going, what is that? Right? Okay. Well, this is my relevancy tool to show you. Now, no, I'm not talking about relevancy when it comes to the one God and stuff like that. People are talking all that word relevancy. No. Okay. Well, let me just sum it up really quick right here. Okay, so I'm sorry I didn't get to everything that I want. I have a lot more, but the relevancy, stay relevant to the day. So we all remember when we used to, well, not all, I mean, us old people. We remember when we couldn't get away from the wall, right? Man, I'm so thirsty. Then came the day of at least we could get away from the wall, right? Then came the day of the little pip. Oh, this is cute. Anyway, what I got brought that to say is, we got to remember what time period we're in and make sure the kids even know what we're talking about. So us old people are the ones that really have to pay attention to that. Okay? And also, you're talking about Bible days things. We might sing, give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning, burning, burning. And they're like, what's oil? What's a lamp? No, give me batteries in my lamp. Make it burn fully charged. Yeah, make sure your batteries in my dollar store lantern.
Make sure your battery.
And you have a backup battery or whatever.
Keep on their level. I was going to talk about games and contests, and those are really a good attention getter. Look those up. Look up, there's so many resources online, but the way to get the kids back again is have contests where it's either boys against girls or it's individual. That was my big thing in getting the kids to learn their memory verse and to come back and read it. They would have something to look forward to. I'm going to win this contest. We did an ice cream contest. Their names were all on. They had a little cone. They got to add scoops and get higher and higher and higher. And at the end, they got to go to the ice cream party. And I have adults today that Richard said, told me, I remember that from when I was in your class. I wanted to win that ice cream party. So those are some of the things that we can do to keep them coming, interested in our class, okay?